openers.
But to end it on a good note, see what we're at 9 o'clock. I want to end it with a good note here. In light of all the biological men, I'm tired of saying biological, of all the men and boys being in
Where
women,
are all the men?
Men and boys being in women's sports and girls' sports. The women involved in these sports need to take the lead, and this is one of those cases right here. This is cool. A female fencer takes a knee instead of competing against a biological male. Like I said, I'm just going to call them, boys. They're all boys. None of them are men. USA Fencing disqualifies and expels her from the college tournament, even though her male opponent played for the men's team last year before switching to women's. And then DC Drano asked, how is this legal? I mean, woke colleges, woke universities. We know the answer to that. Right. But here we'll check out this video because this is cool. This is the inspiration that we need to see going out to women, not what we just watched with that other lady. And this nerdy guy looking like young Drew Carey. I'm gonna mute it just because there's no other audio than Jim's sound. But then here comes boy. But I identify. I don't know what he's saying, but obviously, I'm sure there's some
asking how transphobic she is.
Attempt at justifying, like, no, but I am a girl. But I am a girl. I am. She should have kicked him in the nuts right then and tested. Right? She's like, oh, really?
No, he's like, I trained the last 2 weeks. Let me beat the living shit out of you.
Right, please. I just want to stab you with my fencing thing, with my fencing sword.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild. Like even just like. Even if I didn't have like the description.
Like, oh, I see. Oh. Sorry, I'm still
right. No, you're good. I think that you would still be able to tell like something like off with that person.
Right.
Even just with them like kind of side by side, you're like, wait a minute, something's a little off there. But this is like the flack that Bradley Gaines even got initially by like other conservatives. Where she didn't say a word until after she had placed 5th in that race against Leah Thomas, whatever he decided his gay name would be.
Yeah, Leah Thomas.
And it's true. It was like women should have been doing this well before it was like, personally affecting them. They should have been speaking out well before then. And we saw a lot of similar stuff where it was like that one girl said something because they only take like the 8 spots to like the next round, and she placed 9th because like a trans man was in front of her, and she was like, he took my position. And it was like, you went all the way through the competition and then didn't say anything until after you had lost. It was like, you should have been saying something before you even competed. Like, hey, who's this big Ronald McDonald looking MFer over here, man? Like, what is this? So it's just like, okay.
Right. Steve makes a good point. He said, I'm actually glad they're getting into women's sports. This is what women voted for. And now they can vote for this by mail, by email, by Zoom. They don't even have to show up to do it. But then he adds, until our society addresses the real problem, which is women voting, this is what we deserve. And, like I said, too, that, to add to what I said, I guess, and to add what you said, or combine the two is how I'm really trying to word that. Right. Women voted to get themselves into this, and it's going to take the women involved in these sports to get themselves out of this mess because, ultimately I can't fight. No man can go out there and fight this battle for them. And I'm willing to bet that the push for allowing these boys to participate in these sports is probably headed up by some women of sort. I hesitate to call them feminists, but the feminists won't stand out against this. You would think that the loudest voice against boys being in women's sports would be the
The
biggest
feminine.
feminists, but you don't hear a peep. And that's just because they're afraid of getting kicked out of their cult, and they don't have any true principles other than, stay in my safe
Current
space.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna add too, I think, in the reality is in the practical sense as it sits right now, I mean, the fact that there's a major kind of duty and responsibility assigned to men for their ability to vote, which is the draft, and that not existing for women. You could also come to an easy decision where you allow women to vote, but we institute the 3/5 rule again, where it's like you don't contribute and don't have the same responsibilities or level of responsibilities, so your vote just simply counts for less. And then you get a compromise on that regard. It's like you can still vote and voice your opinion, but it's going to take more of you to contribute versus the ones that do have to have like the weight of the burden of Secret Service hanging over their heads and such. But I guess we'll see what the GOP does. Like I said earlier, Gen Z is so radical. I don't think people are ready for it. And so when you start getting a lot more people like Dusty Deavers in office who come out swinging and they go full abortion ban across the board, no ifs, ands, or buts. If that happens to you, we're going to prosecute you. You try to go to another state, we'll prosecute you. Guys like that, when they start going after the 19th Amendment, and you're seeing the massive crowds of Andrew Tate fans they do exist, are going to be coming out and saying, like, I didn't vote at all my entire life, but I will vote if that's on the table. And
Right.
we're going to see some kind of major swings like that. So who knows what's in store for the future.
Yeah. Looking forward to those days. Looking forward to these dinosaurs getting out of Congress and the younger age groups
Right.
taking over. Donnie says, also, have you seen an athletic leftist or feminist? No. And that's why these people advocate for participation trophies, because they can't win one unless it's for just simply participating, right? They can't actually win a tournament. They can't win, any type of series. It's just got to feel good. Worry about your feelings, and that's all that matters, right? But
No.
with that, I think we'll go ahead and just wrap up there. Unless you had any final thoughts, let us know.
No, there was all. Christ is king. Deport Cash Patel. Pam Bondi needs to go to the kitchen. I think I'm forgetting something there. Oh, ban woman. Obviously, ban woman. And yeah, America first, America only.
That's right. I agree. Christ is king. We'll see you guys on Saturday.